The bells of dawn solace, I the veil of melancholy. As the first blush of dawn unfurled across the sky, a soft symphony of bells began to ripple over the golden plain. Each chime floated like a whispered promise, weaving through the early morning mist that clung to the earth like a gossamer shawl. There, amid the swaying seas of wild flowers, stood Ilara, her voice a gentle lilt against the burgeoning light. She sang with a heart heavy with sorrow, her melody a tender prayer carried on the westerly wind. The plain stretched endlessly, a tapestry of amber, kissed by the sun's awakening warmth in its heart. An old chapel, stone-worn and wise, rose from the meadow, its bell tower reaching toward the heavens. Here, Ilara had come to pour her grief into the dawn, seeking solace from the silence that wrapped around her like an unyielding fog. Her son, Evan, had been spirited away by illness, his laughter now an echo within the walls of her heart. Memories in the morning light. As the morning unfurled, Ilara closed her eyes, letting her song rise with the bells. Her fingers brushed the delicate petals of the wildflowers, their dew-kissed surfaces cool against her skin. Each note she uttered seemed to stir the earth beneath her feet, a soft thrum of life pulsing in response. Her mind drifted back to mornings shared beside Evan, his small hand tucked into hers as they stepped out into the new day's light. He would race ahead, hair aflame in the sun's early rays, his laughter a melody she could never forget. She remembered the way his eyes sparkled with mischief, how they revealed the dreams that danced within. Yet now, the laughter was silenced, the dreams left unfulfilled, and Ilara found herself adrift in a sea of memories. Her song became a plea not only for the departed, but for those who remained silent in their suffering, buried beneath life's relentless weight. The embrace of dawn's promise. The golden light grew bolder as the sun climbed higher, its beams painting the world anew. Ilara's spirit, resonating with the morning bells, began to feel a gentle shift, a stirring of hope. Each chime was a heartbeat, steady and true, carrying her prayer across the plain into the chapel and beyond to the infinite. She opened her eyes to find the meadow awash in color, the wildflowers standing tall as if swaying in unison with her song. A figure appeared on the horizon, cloaked in the dawn's embrace. As it neared, she realized it was a child, a boy whose eyes mirrored the sky. He paused before her, a glimmer of understanding in his gaze, and without words offered her a single white lily. The exchange was simple yet profound. In that moment, Ilara felt a lightness, the burden of her grief momentarily lifted by the purity of hope. The flower was a token, the promise of renewal, in a world reborn with each dawn's arrival. As the sun climbed higher, gilding the chapel's stone walls with its fiery touch, Ilara's song softened into silence. The boy, an ephemeral envoy of morning's grace, retreated into the tapestry of light, leaving behind the whisper of a promise fulfilled. The wildflowers bowed in a gentle breeze, their fragrance a sweet benediction that lingered in the air. Ilara stood in quiet reflection, heart attuned to the rhythm of life that pulsed around her. She sensed a connection to something greater, a weave of spirits bound by shared longing, their silent prayers lifted on the air. She turned toward the chapel, its doors open wide, inviting her into a sanctuary of peace. The bells continued to toll, their voices mingling with the whispers of leaves and the rustle of grass, a symphony of renewal echoing across the land. Inside the chapel, sunlight poured through stained glass, casting vibrant hues upon the worn stone floor. Ilara knelt, cradling the lily, the embodiment of her morning prayers. Shadows played across her face, yet within her chest, hope flickered like a candle catching flame. Her heart remained heavy with longing, forever touched by loss, yet as she rose to meet the day, she felt the dawning of a new strength. The spirit of Evan lived within each sunrise, in every bell's echo across the hills, and in the quiet resilience of those who suffer and endure. With a renewed spirit, Ilara stepped back into the world, the golden plain awaiting her. The air was alive with promise, the kind only a morning's prayer could bestow. She embraced the light, knowing the sun would rise again tomorrow, heralding another chance for healing and hope. Inside the chapel, sunlight poured through stained glass, casting vibrant hues upon the worn stone floor. Ilara knelt, cradling the lily, the embodiment of her morning prayer. Shadows played across her face, yet within her chest, hope flickered like a candle catching flame. Her heart remained heavy with longing, forever touched by loss, yet as she rose to meet the day, she felt the dawning of a new strength. The spirit of Evan lived within each sunrise, in every bell's echo across the hills, and in the quiet resilience of those who suffer and endure. With a renewed spirit, Ilara stepped back into the world, the golden plain awaiting her. The air was alive with promise, the kind only a morning's prayer could bestow.